Hello, this is the next lesson in the series of the 6-week course. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask in the comments below the video. That is why we have the comment section. It's a good place to place any questions that you might have, and also the other students will see these questions and it may answer some questions that they have too. So, here's the lesson. Welcome to lesson 3. In this lesson, we're going to be taking a look at the days of the week, the months, and numbers. So let's dive straight in. Now, your days of the week you should learn by heart. So this means you should be able to recite them when asked. So it should be something like this. Segunda-feira, terça-feira, quarta-feira, quinta-feira, sexta-feira, sábado, domingo. You should be able to say them at that pace. Now, it's very important that you learn these and that you get them correct. Many times we get these mixed up, the Wednesday and the Thursday. Quarta, quinta are popular ones that people get mixed up. So, let's start from the beginning. I'm going to say each one very slowly so you can understand the pronunciation. And then we're going to say them all together. Segunda-feira. Segunda-feira. Terça-feira. Terça-feira. Quarta-feira. Quarta-feira. Quinta-feira. Quinta-feira. Sexta-feira. Sexta-feira. So be careful with this X. This X is pronounced like the sh sound in the word shoe in English. Sh. Then we have sábado and domingo. So let's go through that again. Segunda-feira. Terça-feira. Quarta-feira. Quinta-feira. Sexta-feira. Sábado. Domingo. Now we're going to go through the whole lot in one go. So I'm going to go through the whole lot and then you're going to repeat. Segunda-feira, terça-feira, quarta-feira, quinta-feira, sexta-feira, sábado, domingo. Often we drop the feira from the end, so we might just say segunda, terça, quarta, quinta, sexta, sábado, domingo. You might actually find it easier to learn it like this when you drop the feira, because people know when you're talking about appointments that you mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's do this one more time. Segunda, terça, quarta, quinta, sexta, sábado, domingo. Now you can see that here we have an abbreviated version. This you will often see written on signs, especially regarding the opening hours for shops and establishments. This actually is also an abbreviation for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So you will see this sometimes outside buildings as well, or maybe even on certain mail. If you live in an apartment block, this is quite common for the floors. But in this case, it wouldn't be feminine, it would be masculine. That's for another lesson. So you need to learn these by heart. You need to be able to say them without thinking. And the only way to do this is to listen to this and repeat. Listen and repeat. So we have a nice little game here we can play. So we can start off by saying, what day is it today? Then we say today is Monday. And then you can change each day. So for example, we could say, que dia é hoje? Hoje é segunda-feira. Then we could change that to Tuesday, or the day that it actually is when we are doing the lesson. So, for example, I'm recording this on a Sunday. Que dia é hoje? Hoje é domingo. And then we can take that a little bit further and we can play another game. So we can start by saying what today's day is and what tomorrow's day will be. And then we use tomorrow's day for today, and then we use the next day. So we go through all the days of the week. So, for example, hoje é segunda-feira, amanhã é terça-feira. Hoje é terça-feira, amanhã é quarta-feira. Hoje é quarta-feira, amanhã é quinta-feira. Hoje é quinta-feira, amanhã é sexta-feira. Hoje é sexta-feira, amanhã é sábado. Hoje é sábado, amanhã é domingo. This way we go through all the days of the week. So you can do this when you wake up in the morning. You can do it as a practice every time you look at this lesson. This is going to be quite a short lesson, and it's mostly listening and repeating. So now let's take a look at the months of the year. Estamos em que mês? Estamos em que mês? What month are we in? Estamos em fevereiro. Estamos em fevereiro. So we are in February. Here we have the months of the year, and as you can see that they are very similar to the months in English. So let's start off with janeiro, fevereiro. Now notice that this E and the I sound make the sound A. Janeiro, fevereiro. Both have the same sound. Março, abril, maio, junho. This is like junho, junho. Julho. If you have trouble with this y sound, just think of the sound in the word millions. Millions. Y, millions. Julho. Agosto. Setembro. Outubro. Novembro. Dezembro. So go through those and listen and repeat. And these are also things that you need to learn by heart. Listening to this every day would not be too much. So to say the date in Portuguese, it's fairly simple. We say, for example, today is day 1 of November. Hoje é dia 1 de novembro. So for this, we're going to need numbers, but we don't need ordinals. We use just the regular cardinals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not first, second, third, etc. We don't use those. So for days of the month, we need to learn to at least 31. But first we need to learn to 20. So I am going to say the number and you listen and you repeat. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So once you get to 20, you're going to add other numbers to get to 30. So you're going to say 21. So you're not going to say 21 for 21. You're going to have to say 21. Repeat. 21. Now we're going to say it a little bit quicker. 21. 21. Almost like we're saying 20. 20. 21. So this isn't written down, but let's just try this. Listen and repeat. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then we do the same with 31. 31, 31, 32, 33, 34, etc. That's for another lesson. Do your best to get to 20 for now, and then we'll take it from there at another time. So if we want to say what day of the month we were born on, so we can use nasci, which means I was born. Nasci, nasci. So it's like the word nash and the word si, nasci, a 5 de novembro. Qual é a sua data de nascimento? Nasci a 5 de novembro. So it's quite straightforward. We don't say 5th, we say I was born at 5 of November. It's very basic. So you can fill this in with your correct birth date. So imagine you were born on the 18th of June. You could say nasci a 18 de junho. You just have to change the day and the month. So now we have a quick dialogue with Joanna at the airport check-in desk. Listen and repeat. Bom dia. Bom dia, como está? Estou bem, obrigada. E o senhor? Estou muito bem, obrigado. Desculpe, que dia é hoje? Qual é a data de hoje? Hoje é sexta-feira, dia 13 de março. 13? Sexta-feira, dia 13? Sim, 13. Passaporte, por favor. Claro. Aqui está. Obrigado. Data de nascimento. Nasci a dia 7 de junho de 1980. Muito obrigado. Obrigada. Tenha um bom dia. Bom dia. Igualmente. So remember that you can pause this video to repeat. So you can listen and you can pause the video. I think maybe I'm not always leaving enough space, so it's an idea to pause. Now you may have noticed this date here, which sounds like quite a mouthful. So we don't say 1980 in Portuguese, we say 1980. So we would say 1900, 1900, 1900. So this is one thing that is good to learn. Just this part. 1900. 1900. E, and then whatever the year is. So you can practice your 1900 as well. It's good to get that down before you start using the other date that comes after it, with the 80 or the 75 or whatever year you were born. Okay, so at the end, we have this homework. You have to fill in the blanks and you have to write out the numbers 1 to 20. Write out all the months in Portuguese. And I put Português here. What day is it tomorrow? I was born, blah, 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 complete with your date of birth and also your telephone number. So you put here, o meu número de telefone é. I'm going to correct this, so don't worry about that. Okay, so until next time.